When scrolling YouTube, you might have seen this two-story tuff shed in the thumbnails. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that posted in the thumbnails don't really give a lot of specs or details about the tuff shed itself. There's only a few walkthroughs that actually go through it. Some of the thumbnails don't even have it in their video. It's the TR1600 Sundance model. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to actually tour it, and not am I going to only just tour it, but I'm going to break down the costs of not what it would cost you to buy it built, but what it would cost for you to build it. I'm going to break down all the material costs and what it would cost for you to buy it already built and what it would cost for you to build it yourself. I'm going to break down the material needed to build one of these two-story tuff sheds and the cost as of right now for you to build it yourself. The studs are all 16 on center. The floors look like they're about every 2 feet. I did take notes when I was walking the shed, but I lost them. So I got to figure out how big some of this material is. I've guesstimated that the second floor joists and band is a 2x10. It's not a 2x12. It looks like it's a 2x10 to me. But I could be wrong. If it's a 2x12, then it's going to be a lot more expensive because it really jumps up in price when you try buying a 2x12. So the way I figured this out was 2x4s aren't actually 2x4. They're about 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches plus 1.5 inches, that's 3 inches. Now, to buy a pre-built truss, it's pretty expensive, at least $85 for these trusses. But I'm not going to look at that as the cost because, one, right now they're sold out. You can't buy them at Home Depot or anywhere. And two, it's cheaper, and I would most likely just build the trusses myself out of 2x4s. To do that, I could build each truss to $20 to $35 each. Five on each side and 4 on the other sides. Now I prefer using 2x12s for stringers, but I believe these are 2x10, and we're also going to try to do this as cheap as possible. So we're going to base this off of 2x10 stringer. Other than the stringer, I actually included the cost to build the stairs in with the cost of what the rest of the build would be when I was adding in the cost of the studs and the top and bottom plates. So the cost is in there to build these stairs. I'm just not doing it separately. Now, if we look at the unseen costs and the external building materials that are used to build this two-story shed home, the price jumps significantly. It doubles the cost to build. As an example, I mean, you'll look at the cost of the plywood or the T1 siding. It's thousands of dollars just to side this shed. The plywood alone costs a lot of money. If you look at this T1 siding, it's about $38 to $57 a sheet. Well, it wasn't that long ago you could get the same siding from $20 to $30. I've even seen it go for cheaper at local wholesale distributors. But good luck. Anything that takes a process to create, it's not just sawing a piece of wood, it's going to cost a lot of money. So plywood, OSB, T1 siding, all of those have gone up in price significantly. The metal roofing, windows, doors. So you could actually cut the cost to build this quite a bit if you could buy wholesale or buy used. If you could find a door for under $100 instead of paying $150, $300. Oftentimes windows are special buys at Home Depot, and you could buy them for $100 each. Right now they're at least $200 each. So right there, it's a couple $1,000s for these windows, right? Well, you could cut that in at least by half if you just buy the windows on special buy. So even though this ends up being about $7,000 to build, you could build this for, you know, $3,000-$4,000 if you could just source the materials properly. But even at $6,000-$7,000 to build this, that's a heck of a lot cheaper than $13,000 plus to build this same unit if you buy it pre-manufactured. So you're going to still save a lot of money just by building it yourself. And it's really not that difficult of framing. Now the base cost is $13,000, but it goes up quite a bit depending on what you add, what type of windows, what type of doors. What you see in the video walkthrough is not necessarily the cost of, you know, what you're going to get for $13,000. Also, metal roofing, you could put shingles on top instead, which would be a lot cheaper, but I prefer to go with the metal myself so I can do some rainwater collection. Regardless, you're saving money. So now you have a cost of breakdown of what it would cost right now after COVID to build this shed to home instead of buying it pre-manufactured. Four on that side. One, two, five. 5 on each side and 4 on the other sides.
Yesterday